Welcome back to Market Talk. Everybody ready for another deep dive into the markets today?
Absolutely. Let's get right to it.
Looks like we've got former President Trump back in the headlines.
Oh, this should be interesting.
He's announced a press conference to unveil a new reciprocal tariff plan.
Details are pretty scarce at the moment, though.
Yeah, Jeffries is already warning investors about the potential impacts on companies like Apple, though.
And, this brings up the whole issue of potential volatility a Trump presidency can bring.
Oh, for sure. You think back to his trade wars and how those impacted different sectors.
Exactly. Investors are definitely going to be on edge about what this new plan could mean for them.
And speaking of Trump, it seems he's decided to go all in on crypto.
Yeah, Bitcoin enthusiasts are really hoping that corporate America will follow his lead.
I mean, there are trillions sitting in cash and bonds right now.
Right. So is this a pipe dream or a glimpse into the future of finance? What do you think?
Well, it's certainly fascinating to see how political endorsements can influence market trends.
Yeah, I doubt we'll see everyone suddenly dump their traditional investments for Bitcoin.
True, but Trump's stance could definitely bring more mainstream attention to the crypto space.
No doubt about that. Now, on the tech front, AppLovin is having quite a day.
Soaring up almost 30%.
They beat their earnings estimates and offered some really strong guidance.
Last year, they were the hottest tech stock. Remember, even outperforming some of those AI giants.
Yeah, well, their performance really shows the power of mobile gaming and advertising.
Even with all the focus on AI.
Exactly. And that strong guidance tells me they're feeling pretty confident about continued growth.
Makes sense. But not all tech companies are celebrating today.
What happened?
Reddit shares are down 7%.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
They missed their daily active user expectations.
What happened there?
Apparently, a Google search algorithm tweak really threw them off.
Yeah, that highlights the vulnerability of companies who rely on third-party platforms for their traffic.
I mean, Google is the king of search.
Right, even small changes to their algorithms can have a huge impact.
It's a good reminder to diversify your online presence, I guess.
Absolutely. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Now, this is interesting. Humanoid robots seem to be heating up.
Oh, really? In what way?
Google's pouring $350 million into Apptronic.
Wow. What did they do?
They're developing robots that could potentially rival Elon Musk's Tesla Optimus.
So is this the start of the robot revolution?
That's the question, isn't it? But it does show that AI and robotics are sectors to watch.
Yeah, this investment really underlines that growing trend. We're only going to see more of this, I think.
All right, let's move on to some market movers. Crocs is rallying today.
On what news?
They have a strong profit outlook thanks to growth in their core footwear brand.
Makes sense, but I heard their Hey Dude line might be struggling.
Yeah, it just goes to show how a company's success can depend on the performance of individual product lines.
True investors will definitely be watching to see if Crocs can keep up the momentum.
Especially with that potential weakness in the Hey Dude line.
Exactly. Now, GE Healthcare is also on the rise.
Seems like their imaging and diagnostic drug units are driving that growth.
It's good to see them delivering on their potential.
Yeah, it could be a sign that GE is finally turning things around after that restructuring.
I hope so for their sake. Now AMD is actually facing a new risk.
And this has nothing to do with the current AI craze.
Really? What is it then?
Data's showing a potential chip surplus in the PC market.
That could put some pressure on their stock price.
Definitely. Even in a booming market like this, there are always cyclical factors to consider.
Right. The semiconductor industry is known for its ups and downs.
And AMD is really tied to demand in that PC market.
A potential surplus could signal a slowdown for sure.
All right, now let's talk about some macroeconomic concerns. Ray Dalio's sounding the alarm.
Oh boy. What's he saying?
He's urging the Trump administration to tackle the national debt.
Otherwise.
Or risk an economic heart attack.
Wow, strong words.
He's suggesting reducing the budget deficit from 7.5% to 3% of GDP.
A lot of economists share Dalio's concerns.
Yeah, the national debt has been an issue for a while.
And if we don't address it, it could have serious consequences for the economy.
Absolutely. And to add to the anxiety, Fitch is warning of a potential contagion growth threat.
Contagion growth, what does that mean?
They're saying banks are piling into private credit.
Which could lead to systemic risks in the financial system.
Right, the growth of private credit has been pretty significant lately.
It's definitely something we need to keep an eye on.
Fitch's warning reminds us that even small parts of the market can have big consequences.
Very true. Now shifting to inflation, the PPI report suggesting a softer Fed inflation measure than expected.
So that could influence their decisions on interest rates?
Definitely. This comes after yesterday's hot CPI report, which kind of dampened hopes for any rate cuts.
Yeah, the mixed signals on inflation are making it hard for the Fed to figure out what to do.
They've got to find a way to control inflation while also supporting economic growth.
It's a tough balancing act. All right, let's move on to some international news. Peace talks between Russia and Ukraine are set to begin.
Finally, some good news.
Yeah, oil prices have already dipped in response.
Makes sense, but there's still concern that Ukraine might have to pay a high price for peace,
It's a delicate situation for sure. Geopolitical events always have an impact on the markets.
especially on commodities like oil.
Absolutely. And we'll have to wait and see what the long-term effects are for both Ukraine and a region.
Now, back in the U.S., it looks like Humana is dropping some Medicare Advantage plans.
Yeah, this could mean higher premiums and fewer benefits for a lot of people.
This is worrying for those who rely on Medicare Advantage.
It highlights the challenges in the healthcare industry.
And raises concerns about access to affordable quality care.
For a vulnerable population, no less. Now, this is interesting. Google's testing the use of AI to determine users' ages.
Really? Why would they do that?
Apparently, it's an effort to comply with regulations and protect minors.
But doesn't that raise some privacy concerns?
It definitely does. This whole thing about AI is becoming more and more widespread.
We need to be having open discussions about the ethics involved.
And make sure its development is guided by responsible principles.
Finding that balance between protecting users and respecting privacy is key.
Well, it seems former President Trump and Elon Musk are teaming up.
Oh, really? On what?
Apparently, they're leading a charge to purge the U.S. government.
You mean?
Yeah, mass firings of federal workers.
Wow, this is big. It could really reshape the government and its workforce.
Absolutely. We'll have to see what the long-term consequences are.
It's going to impact a lot of different sectors and policies.
No doubt. Now, in a surprising turn of events, Honda and Nissan has called off their merger talks.
What, after announcing them just last December?
Yeah, they're saying they'll still collaborate.
But that dream of creating the world's third largest automaker is on hold for now.
It seems those global partnerships are tricky to navigate.
Especially in a fast-changing industry like automotive manufacturing.
It'll be interesting to see how they adapt their strategies moving forward.
Agreed. Now, despite Trump's endorsement, it seems Bitcoin bulls are having a tough time.
Convincing corporate America to embrace crypto.
Yeah, with trillions still in cash and bonds.
Companies seem hesitant to jump into the volatile world of digital assets,
Well, that volatility is definitely a factor.
especially for risk-averse corporations.
And let's not forget the regulatory landscape for crypto is still pretty uncertain.
That probably adds to their hesitation. Now, this is interesting. Elon Musk has reportedly made a bid to buy OpenAI,
OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT.
the one and only. But there's a catch.
What's that?
He only wants to buy it if it stays a nonprofit.
Interesting. He's not a fan of their capped profit model.
Apparently not. This whole thing really highlights the debate around how to develop and govern AI.
Musk seems to think AI should benefit humanity, not just generate profits.
Makes you think. Speaking of AI, remember that Google search algorithm change?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, Reddit's still feeling the pain.
Oh, right. Their shares plunged after missing those daily active user expectations.
Even the internet's front page isn't safe from Google, it seems.
It really shows you how much power Google has.
Even small tweaks to their algorithms can have massive consequences.
It's a good reminder that we're all at the mercy of those search engines, in a way.
And on a more serious note, crypto scams are on the rise.
That's unfortunate. What are they doing?
They're using sophisticated tactics like pig butchering.
Pig butchering, what's that?
It's where scammers build trust with victims over a long period.
Ah, I see. And then they eventually convince them to invest in a fake crypto scheme.
Exactly. And they're even using AI to make their scams more convincing.
It's a reminder to be extra careful in the crypto world.
Do your research and don't trust everything you see online.
Good advice. Now, shifting gears, European shares are hitting record highs.
Seems like they're being boosted by strong earnings.
From companies like Nestle.
And that potential Russian-Ukraine peace deal is giving investors hope.
This is good news for the European economy.
It's faced a lot of challenges lately.
Some stability and peace could really boost confidence.
Fingers crossed. But there's also concern about that potential deal between Trump and Putin.
What kind of concern?
Some worry it might be a dirty deal that leaves Ukraine vulnerable.
It's a high-stakes situation for sure.
Any agreement needs to be fair and equitable to all parties.
The hope is for lasting peace and stability in the region.
Absolutely. Now, sadly, there's been a suspected attack in Munich.
Oh no, what happened?
A car rammed into a crowd, injuring at least 28 people,
That's awful. This is going to heighten security concerns.
especially with that major security conference happening in the city.
It's a tragic reminder that geopolitical tensions have real-world consequences.
And innocent people often pay the price. Now, over in the UK, there's talk of axing the cash ISA.
The cash ISA, what would that mean for investors?
Well, some speculate they might turn to stocks and shares ISAs instead.
It definitely changed the UK investment landscape.
We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Now, remember, App11,
The mobile gaming company?
they're skyrocketing after smashing their earnings estimates and giving strong guidance.
Yeah, their success is a testament to the growth of that mobile gaming market.
And their ability to monetize their platform.
They're definitely one to watch. And Robinhood is also jumping after their earnings.
Seems like analysts are feeling more bullish on the stock.
It's a good sign for them after all the challenges they've faced.
It seems they're attracting and retaining users.
And their expansion into crypto trading is paying off.
Speaking of which, they're gaining ground in the crypto space.
Which is heating up the competition among trading platforms.
That crypto pie is getting bigger and everyone wants a slice.
It'll be interesting to see how the established players respond to Robinhood.
Now, Unilever's sales just missed expectations.
Not a good sign.
They're blaming it on a slower start to 2025.
This could mean that global economic slowdown is starting to hit those big consumer goods companies.
We'll have to see how Unilever adapts.
It's a test for sure. Finally, activist investor Elliott Management is making moves.
What are they up to?
They've built up a stake in BP nearly 5%.
And they're pushing for some big divestments.
Elliott Management is known for its aggressive tactics.
It'll be interesting to see how BP reacts.
This could lead to major changes at the energy giant.
Well, that about wraps up our market coverage for today.
We covered a lot of ground.
From Trump's return to the latest in tech and the global economy.
Even crypto scams and a potential robot revolution.
It's a wild world out there, but hopefully this deep dive helped you make sense of it all.
Absolutely. Staying informed is key to navigating these markets.
We hope you feel equipped to make those informed decisions. Until next time, happy investing.